Knock, knock. What's up, beautiful people? I hope you all are doing very well on this June 9th, 2020. We are here to talk about the weekly energies for the week of June 9th to June 15th of 2020. So we are in the midst of this, I almost want to say viper pit of energies. We're in retrograde season. We are in eclipse season. We are in 2020, clear vision, right? We're in this time of great transition, and it is proving to be much faster and greater than I think any of us can have thought possible. And right now, with Venus retrograde, Mercury in shadow, Neptune in shadow, Pluto in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, Black Moon, Lilith in retrograde. There's so much internal stuff, rewiring going on that is taking us, a lot to be able to just process everything that's going on. But the big thing I want to focus on, at least at first here now, is this Neptune and Mars energy, because this Neptune-Mars energy is incredibly powerful. And with Neptune being at 20 degrees, being in the third decan of Neptune, this is really setting the foundation stage for this really deeper level of energy that's very intuitive, very psychic, can be very delusional or a lot of illusion. Neptune is a planet of media. And with all this stuff going on with the media, it's really setting the stage to really need to understand what is all this stuff that's coming at us. What is it trying to do to us? What it's like, we feel like we're being manipulated on many levels in many ways. So how do you know what to trust right now? Okay. And so I want to actually read something for you guys, because this week we're going to have the Mars-Neptune conjunction come exact, and it is still square to the sun. All right. So with that, listen to this. All right. The 20 degrees of Pisces, all right, is it says, according to Inside Degrees, it says a perfect black cube sits lone in the desert. Now, before I even get into the explanation, the rest of it, a perfect black cube. What's been going around the internet here in the last week or so, right? A perfect black cube. Now, from my understanding, a perfect black cube also represents Saturn, right? But they've been passing it around as a representation of Black Lives Matter, right? Now, of course, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. We definitely have to pay attention to the equality of human beings in its entirety, right? But the astrological, the deeper esoteric meaning of all these energies coming through, all right, this black cube, it feels to me, it feels so significant. And it represents 20 degrees of Pisces. And Neptune is sitting right there, which is the media. Guys, this is not a coincidence, okay? There are powers that be are paying attention to the celestial events, and they're using it to their advantage to manipulate us all. Okay, now let's go ahead and listen to the explanation. All right. Isolation, uniqueness that becomes separative and self-referential, exquisitely designed to be only a certain way and not any other way. Preserved against rust or corrosion, maintaining standards, priorities, what seems to be given, yet something is wrong. It is true that all lies within, and that turning yourself into what you are not is ultimately absurd, but you are not listening, not paying attention to the subtle cues. You are so intent upon self-consistency that you have tuned out far too much in the process. And this shall call forth lessons and hard experiences to crack you open again and to give you a chance to discover afresh what can be when nothing is assumed and nobody has set anything up ahead of time. I mean, shit. So let that sink in, guys. there is so many layers. There's so much programming going on right now. All right. It's like we are being programmed to tune into certain parts of our energy in our mind. And it is all distracting. It is all deflection. Deflection of what? Well, at this point, we really don't know what to believe. I personally believe, according to the astrology, that once these planets start to go direct, okay, we're going to get more clarity. However, that clarity is going to be mixed with the sort of frustration when Mars goes retrograde later on in the year. For the second 6 months of this year, Mars is going to be in Aries, and now Mars in Aries, good thing, right? Because Mars likes being in Aries. It makes us assertive. Mars is at home, so our divine masculine is going to be more defined, if you will. It's not going to be so confused. However, if it's not aware, and when it goes retrograde, it starts to, go question itself, go over itself. So really, when Mars is going to be in, Mars is going to be in Aries for about 6 months. Normally, it's there for about 6 weeks. So this is redefining our divine masculine. So literally right now, we are going through a process of redefining a divine feminine with all this confusion. The divine feminine energy, it's not set, right? It's their shapes, they're amoebas. They're according to sacred geometry, like they're the round parts of the sacred geometry. Mars would be the solid squares and like points and things like that in the sacred geometry. So we are reconfiguring the sacred geometry at the very core of our reality. Literally, the fabric of our reality is being ripped apart. And we don't really know what our reality is right now. That's why everybody's going so nuts right now, because literally to the very core of the collective consciousness, everything is being thrown all over the place. Okay. So it's so easy to get caught up in one way in this, because we can say we're being present. We can say we're being clear, but then we sit back and we find ourselves being caught in another layer. And then we go to do like a lateral transfer to another layer. I've caught myself doing this. And that's why I'm speaking about it, because I've really sat back this last few days and paid really close attention to it. Mars is at 18 degrees as of today, Pisces, right? And Neptune is at 20 degrees. So Mars here in the next few days is going to come exact. So thank God after Mars goes past that, now that at least the confusion is going to be less frustrating, right? That feeling like, something's going to give. That feeling is going to disperse a little bit. We still do have Venus retrograde, but at least, we're getting towards the end of that now. We're almost there. We're in the long haul, or we're in the last part. So we're getting there. And especially with Venus, I want to remind you guys, okay? When Venus is retrograde, do not make massive, important financial decisions. Okay? Do not go and shave your head or change your physical appearance in a drastic way. Cosmetic surgeries or elective surgeries, bad idea. Tattoos, bad idea right now. All right? Because what we like or what we want or what we think we want right now is going to be rose-tinted glasses. And then once Venus goes direct, then of course it has to go through the degrees in which it just traveled through to really fully complete the lessons. And that's where we will, learn the lessons and be able to make those decisions from there. All right. So, yeah. And I see a lot of people, like a lot of opportunities coming around right now. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to open this business. I'm going to try this new thing. I'm going to try this, try this or that, or, creating and starting new businesses. Not the greatest idea right now. Now, it is a good idea to reflect on whatever it is you have already started and what you've already created and what you're already doing. All right. But so making adjustments to what you're doing, excellent idea right now. Okay. Speaking of which, I just released my new ebook. It's called Decoding the I can't remember what it's called right now. Go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com. And it's understanding decoding the language of the human body. Right. Shows your biceps. Right there. Yeah. So if you'd like to understand the language of the human body between the physical and the emotional pain, things like that, go check that out. I put a lot of work into it and a lot of research I've done in the last few years. So it's more like a study guide. It's exciting. You can go ahead and download it free on my website. So check that out. All right. So this week, of course, we are in eclipse season, right? And we are coming into this between the lunar eclipse and this next solar eclipse. This next solar eclipse is going to be a massive reset and new beginning. Okay. Wow. It's only the second time that we've had a Cancer solar eclipse at 0 degrees. Second time in the last 120 years. And guess when the last one was? Right before 9/11, June of 2001. Okay, 120 years before that since we've had it at that degree, and that is a master degree or a master number. The 0 degrees is the void space, and Capricorn and Cancer is the ecliptic, right? So that is literally the void space of void spaces. So this is where we come into the summer up here, and then of course winter down south. But this is symbolic of really like a brand new shift into this next vibrational experience. So we're sort of like in the process of letting go of all this stuff. Ascension symptoms are really, really massive, and looking for our purpose. Everyone right now is searching for their purpose. Kim, hey you, thank you for joining. And this next week, we're going to have the moon going from Aquarius, which it is in today, okay, over into Aries. So we're going to have all these emotions going in these areas where all these intense energies are just fucking spiking like crazy. So big thing here, guys, okay, especially with the Mars Neptune. The reason why I brought that up, especially being square the sun in Gemini, all this mutable energy, right? It's changing. It's like an amoeba that just keeps shifting and transforming into something that we don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Okay, now we have to accept that. Acceptance right now is huge. Okay, we are learning a lot of lessons, and when these lessons come up from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind, we don't like the subconscious mind doesn't speak to the conscious mind the way that we would like it to per se. We have to learn the language. So it will come through the body, which is actually perfect, and why I chose to release my book now, because it will help you understand all this shit that's going on, right? So as this energy is moving through you, you'll understand how the subconscious mind is trying to speak to you, because basically the body is the subconscious mind, right? So if you have pains, or if you feel tight somewhere, or if something's, your digestion is off, or something is just functioning, like less than optimal, you need to look at that. Okay. This is bringing up all these denser energies. It's almost, you could say that it's almost like a very slow and collective Kundalini awakening. All right. Activating all these different energies within our body. And with the Mars Neptune, this is all this essentially propaganda hitting us from all sides. Okay. Now, whatever you think is good, whatever you think is bad, like we all are feeling like we all have our own subjective perspective of what feels good, what feels right, what feels wrong, what feels bad, what feels ethical, what feels immoral. And some things are universal, like pedophilia is morally and ethically wrong. Okay. And but clearly there are people that disagree with that, because there are pedophiles out there. Right. So there are people that have differing opinions, is what I'm saying, in regards to that. And those people, that plutonic energy, are getting called out. All All right. And that's happening more and more and more. It's actually quite freaking disturbing on how much of that shit is going on, like beyond disturbing. I've seen some videos, some images, and some stories that just make me want to puke. Honestly, it's absolutely disgusting. So, oh, Killary. Yeah, exactly. So these different moral and ethical ideas and feelings, they're being really brought out with this Mars-Neptune conjunction. But here's the thing, okay? With this energy, remember it says exquisitely designed to be only a certain way and not another way. So it's being shown to us in a certain way, right? Preserved against rust or corrosion. And it's actually has this like, it's like you wonder why, like, how are some of these people not in prison? How is this stuff happening without some justice being done? Where is the justice in all this? Well, it is happening, right? But it's happening slowly but surely. A lot of the stuff is underneath the scenes and it's mutable because this is a war, a battle of light and dark, of good and evil, right? So in order for this stuff to come up and come out, it has to, like, there has to be deception on both sides in a way, because we have to deceive the deceiver in order to be able to get past it, or else they will overcome it, which is unfortunate. But that we have to play the game, so to speak, in a way. And the way that we internally, now I'm talking about in a collective format, but internally in here, okay, we deceive the deception in our mind. Okay, so this is where the layers of shit that are going on that are really confusing. And we may not, realize that we are deceiving ourselves through our deceit. That's deceitful. Do you get that? There's so many layers. It's like the movie Inception. Okay, so this is where, like, we automatically want to figure it out. We automatically want to try to see what's going on, but we got to stop. And that's the paradox here, because Mars is like, no, I want to figure it out. Neptune's like, go ahead, give it a shot. Ha, fooled you. All over the place. Then it's squaring into the sun. So it's sort of like saying, staring in our face, the sun is our spirit, right? And the sun is also mutable. So it's moving like, whoa, like bobbing and weaving. Oh, you can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man, right? And then you catch the gingerbread man, and then the gingerbread man is actually like a real little kid. This is literally like Alice in Wonderland meets Iraq, honestly. So it's almost like, kind of honestly, like reality is like a bad acid trip right now. So how do you get yourself out of a bad acid trip? Well, really, you can't. You have to just wait it out, right? Okay, so Mars and Neptune, bad acid trip right now with everything that's going on in the world. So we create the set and setting in our energy, right? We have to create the set and setting and create the stillness the best that we can. Now, there's so many energies that are coming at us from so many different angles. It's difficult to do that. But that's the aim. That's the goal. That's what, if we're going to set an intention, because Mars wants to set an intention and wants to make it happen. So we set the intention for stillness. So throw on some binaural beats, burn some sage. I was going to try to burn some sage, but I don't have any in here with me. Or some Palo Santo, go to infrared sauna, go sit in a hot tub, go do something that makes you feel relaxed and good. Like, be around good people, stay away from the drama, stay away from the bullshit. Okay, and just allow it to go through you, because that's kind of where we're at right now, what we have to do. All right. Maintaining standards, priorities, what seems to be the given, yet something is wrong. Isn't that exactly what's going on right now? Like, oh no, we got to stand up for this, and we got to do this, and we got to fight for that. We got to make this happen. But wait a minute, something's not right. It's because there is something wrong. But we're not going to know it right now, because the mutable energy is going to keep changing, keep shifting, keep going side to side and back and forth and dodging and weaving. That's just where we're at right now, guys. So you have to accept that. Okay? It is true that all lies within, and that turning yourself into what you are not is ultimately absurd. But what is it that people are doing? People are attaching themselves to belief systems and thoughts because there's a little poke, like, oh, you should feel guilty. What it's doing is it's feeding on our insecurities and our lack of self-worth and self-confidence. So, like, if you feel guilty for what a generation is doing, then you're going to go do your part so you can show that you feel bad for it. Well, that's like saying, like, say a cop, a corrupt cop comes up in an altercation and pushes you, right? Well, what people are doing right now, that's like you get pushed by a cop, then you go run down the street to another cop and punch them in the face. Why don't you just get up and go back to the cop that pushed you and push him back, or stand up to that cop? Face it. But people aren't doing that because that is their trigger. And people are afraid to face their triggers. So there's almost like this promotion of this passive-aggressive victim mentality going on. Okay, that the Mars-Neptune conjunction is promoting. And that is going to peak here on the 12th. Okay, now when it peaks, when it conjuncts exact, the moon will also be conjuncting. So it will be a triple conjunction at 20 degrees of Pisces. So this energy is going to be beaming, right? Okay, Claudia, no, I was not a stripper for Jimmy Z Productions. I did a Jesus Christ. I did I did a photo shoot with him after a competition, and that was it. It was a bodybuilding photo shoot. And he died, and then somebody else took over, and I'm dealing with that in court right now, actually, right? So thank you for bringing that up. See, there we go. Misdirection, all that shit. Fucking ridiculous. So this is where we need to stay focused and redirect the energy within, right? Just like I'm doing right now, okay? And really remind ourselves of what our true purpose and intentions are for coming out into the world for, right? Yeah, apparently peeps are checking me out right now, but you know what? I put myself out there to the world, and that's what happens, right? Yeah, I tried being a male dancer. I did one bachelorette party, and I was terrible at it. I sucked. It was horrible. I was working with this other guy. I'll tell you a short story. Fuck it, right? Go into the trigger, okay? Because this shit fucking kind of irritates me a little bit, but that's okay because I acknowledge it. So I tried it, okay? Because I was trying to raise up enough money to hire to pay for an attorney for my custody battle, so I can have a relationship with my daughter, right? So I went and I did, and I worked with this guy, and his name was Marathon. He was this tall, light-skinned black dude that looked like Genuine, right? The dude can move like, I was like, holy shit, like I got bad white guy dancing. I don't know how to move and dance like that, right? And so I tried it once, and of course, you know, I used to be a massage therapist, so I was going around like, hey, you guys want a massage? And these chicks were actually from Massachusetts, and they were intimidated by me, right? So the guy was like, hey, well, why don't you give like the bachelorette a lap dance at the end? Like, all right, I'll give it a shot. It was fucking terrible. She was like this the whole time, all right? It was really, really ridiculous. So that's my story of my attempt to be a male stripper. It did not work out so well. And that's why I am not a male stripper. That's why I'm on here talking to you guys about astrology, because I'm an astrologer and I'm a coach, and I put myself out there, and I'm real and I'm authentic, and that's it. Right. So I'm always keeping myself in check and always trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for the people that I love and care about in my life. And, you know, look, none of us have everything together. None of us have our shit together, right? Yes. Well, you know what? I'm not trying to make this a serious talk. I'm trying to make this about what's going on, the energies, all right? So it can be happy, sad, it can be serious, it can be fun. And we have to let it go, whichever direction it flows, right? And this is what I'm talking about. We have to go with the flow. We have to allow the energies, okay, and stop trying to control everything. And, you know, I'm a Capricorn sun. I sometimes tend to try to control things. So this is a good attempt at me to stop attempting to control things and go with the flow, all right? And, you know, like there's always there's always things. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. There's always stuff. Chuck it in the fucking bucket. Exactly. There's always things that are going to come up that are going to try to deter you, that are going to try to distract you, that are going to try to pull you off. And you know what? Instead of resisting it, go into it. Fuck it. I went into it, told you guys a fun little story. Now you know a little bit about me and a little bit about the fucking follies and shit that I've tried to do for situations that are not perfect in my life. But that's okay, because you know what? I accept myself and I love myself for who I am and what I do. And I take that out and I help other people see how their imperfection can actually be strengths and not weaknesses. All right. Why? Well, let's all just not get irritated. Just it's all good. Have I ever worked with stripper? Yes or no? I'm from Brazil, so I understand. Yes or no? Have I ever worked with stripper? Well, I just explained all that, so that's that. Yes, we need to stop judging, of course. Okay. So, and I'm sure, look, if you're an empath and if you're out there and if you're, you know, doing your work as a light worker and whatnot, you're going to feel this energy coming at you so strong from all these different directions. And when, when all this shit comes at you, okay, you know, it's almost like I can feel like, you know, energy is coming at me from all around my consciousness. And we just have to learn to sort of, in a way, let it go through us, but block. And, you know, just block it, then accept it, let it go. Block, accept, let it go. Block, accept, let it go. You can make a little dance out of that. Like that whole, Cardi B song, Coronavirus. Yeah. Yes, we do. Okay. So also this week we have, so right now we have Chiron at 9 degrees. Okay. Chiron has just moved to 9 degrees on, let's see, on today. So today Chiron moved 9 degrees. So whenever an outer planet moves to another degree, that's significant, because that's another layer of vulnerability. That's another layer of shit that's coming up for us to deal with. And you know, yeah, get those crystals out, guys. All right. So whenever an outer planet goes to another degree, forward or backward, that's what's bringing up more shit for us to be processed, right? So Chiron, of course, the wounded healer. Right now, it is square over to Mercury, so that's communicating all these vulnerable things and making us feel uncomfortable and making us feel, you know, like vulnerable. So we got to face these things. But the good thing is that 9 degrees is what? 9 numerologically is endings, right? So let's go there. We also have Uranus. So right now we have Chiron and Venus, both. Whoops. I don't know what happened to Instagram, but it just shut off on me. Guess I was talking too much truth. There we go. Okay. It keeps doing that on IG. See, that's why I go on IG and on YouTube, because YouTube, one or the other, seems to always like shit out on me. So here we go. So we have Chiron at 9 degrees, right? We also have Venus in retrograde at 9 degrees right now. And now on, let's see, on the 10th, tomorrow, we're going to have Uranus going to 9 degrees, okay? We haven't seen Uranus in 9 degrees in a very, very long time. So right now on June 10th, we're going to have Venus, Uranus, and Chiron all at 9 degrees, all semi-sextile each other, okay? So, hey, what up, yo? Okay. Energy's a little scattered. I appreciate you guys tuning in here and working with me and sticking with me, attempting to work with all the energies going on right now. But as you can see, it's very like scattered and chaotic right now, but that's okay. We go into it with our vulnerability and acceptance and honesty and being our true authentic selves. And we just do the best we can with it. It's never going to be perfect, especially when we're dealing with Chiron. Chiron square to Mercury. That's like vulnerability, frazzle, overload, all right? I don't even know what half of that shit means that you guys are saying on the chat. So, Dustin, Brad, man, I appreciate you. So, Dustin, you've been with me here since the beginning. Like, I've been doing this stuff for over a year now, and Dustin's been like there consistently, constantly. I appreciate your support, brother. You the man. So so we have 3 nines here in the chart: Chiron, Uranus, and Venus. So this is saying that, you know, we're going to have these unexpected vulnerabilities coming up. We're going to have these things going through us that are going to be incredibly uncomfortable, but it's like a rite of passage. It's almost like a crucible of our vulnerability. Okay. And after 9, what? That's the ending. We're clearing it. We're processing. We're purging it out. So go into your vulnerability, and whatever it looks like, fuck it. Chuck it in the fucking bucket. Who cares? Let's be okay with not being okay. Right. So be okay with not being okay. That's what this is all about. And then let's see. On the 11th, we have Venus moving to 8 degrees. So that's going to and then when Venus goes direct and it hits 9 degrees again, Uranus will be at 10 degrees. So we will not see that again. So this is essentially ending this this unexpected vulnerability in our physical body. Okay. Uranus in Taurus is sort of representative of our physical body. Okay. Chiron in Aries is a vulnerability in our mind. It's like, you know, we want to, it's in our ego, right? And of course, Venus in Gemini is all about our communication, you know, creating relationships, getting out there to people. So facing and feeling that vulnerability, communicating with people in response to the denser energies of vulnerability in our physical body. All right. Purging that shit out and going through it. All right. So that's going through it. I feel like I just did that. Get out of here. All right. And yeah, so we have Black Moon Lilith too in Aries again at 17 degrees going retrograde. And we're just about to come in to on the 13th. Okay, actually, scratch that. On the 13th to the 14th, we're going to have the moon going over Chiron and then conjuncting with Black Moon Lilith. So again, this is really highlighting that energy even more so. And we still have Mars-Neptune conjunction. So this week, I feel like it's sort of a precursor to all this stuff that we need to let go of to prepare for this new slate that we're going to start on the 20th. And ironically, the 20th is also Father's Day, correct? So Father's Day is the same day of the 0 degree Cancer new moon. Very, very, very big. And I have a lot to say about Father's Day too. So I'm going to talk about that in another video. All right. A lot of us are like Chiron in Aries and Chiron in Taurus. These are generational energies. So a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this are having either the Chiron return, and it's getting closer to Taurus too, which is going to be, you know, the younger version Chiron return as well. So that's where the Chiron return is when it's sort of like the final Kundalini awakening. But really, in reality, right now we have a massive like collective Kundalini awakening right now with all these energies that are purging. Okay, so allow it to purge, baby. Allow it to grow. Allow it to purge. And this purging is not fun. You know, like a lot of people think, oh, awakening, yay! I get to, you know, expand my consciousness and raise up. Yeah, but you know what? When you wake up and you see the shit that's going on, sort of like in the Matrix, it's hard to accept at first. Like, wait, no, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be a part of this, right? You have, and that part of acceptance is almost like a grieving process when you realize, oh shit, I've created all this bullshit in my life, and now I got to work myself out of it. And you know, thank God that, you know, we're able to work through that. And once we accept it, then things get, that motivation grows and that strength grows. That strength comes from that vulnerability of that acceptance, right? So let's keep going through it. Let's keep facing it the best we can. If we got to take a step back, then take a step back. All right. There's so much triggering going on right now. And this week is going to be no exception, especially considering that, now we've had Saturn quincunx to the North Node now for a couple weeks. It's going to stay there for another couple more weeks. And Saturn quincunx to the North Node, as Saturn is in retrograde, this is going within, questioning our life purpose, questioning what we're doing here in this world, questioning where the world is going, right? Questioning the structure of our very reality. And then we have Pluto and Jupiter, which are essentially conjunct. They won't be exact till the very end of the month, but this is also quincunx to the Sun now. And a quincunx is not a happy aspect. That's like you just can't figure it out. But you keep trying to figure it out. You keep trying to see it. You keep trying to feel it. You just feel like something's wrong underneath. Like, shit, I can't see what's going on, but I can tell something's wrong. And we have to just flow with it, okay? But deep down in your heart, and this is why I keep saying that it's so important to tune back into your heart, right? To stay tapped in to what your intuition is telling you. Because if you don't stay tapped into that, you will get taken away and lost in all these projections and all these distractions and all these things outside in the world that are trying to take you away from your purpose. And that's exactly what we created the Opportunity Community for. I know it's held me accountable. It'll hold you accountable. And we all need something to hold us accountable right now. Okay? That's the energy we need to go into. The accountability buddy. The accountability with you and with me. Yeah. So on the 15th, we're going to have Saturn going into 0 degrees of Aquarius. And that is the degree that is that's going to be at when we have this solar eclipse. So we're going to come in to this energy of this 0 degree void space. Now, the void space is really where all the magic happens, but that's really where we might also feel completely disconnected. And that disconnection can be very unnerving. Okay, now we are not really disconnected. We just feel that way. It's almost like there's this veil of energy that's swarming around our consciousness, right? And it has to do that because it's rewiring it. It's bringing in codes, if you will, right? We're being given upgrades. We're being given downloads to be able to move into this new energy. And when the planet is retrograde, that usually means that the download is coming in. When it goes direct, that means that we embody it and then we create it and we bring it out into the world, right? So it has to get first, and this is how energy travels with whatever it is that we're dealing with, right? So it comes in through the crown chakra, okay, it goes down to the root chakra and goes through, and then we need to sort of ground it, right? But it can get stuck throughout whatever energetic centers are there that are not functioning optimally. So it's going to clear out that from that direction, right? Then it has to come back up through the root chakra, and this is where we embody it. This is where we actually activate it and then embody it into our higher vibration. So it's almost like it clears out the clog, then it has to purge out the clog, or it like loosens it up, and then it gets rid of it, right? If we are purging, it acts like a vacuum. Well, first there's two parts to the purge, right? First, it hits us, right? It has to like break it down and dissolve it. Then once it's dissolved, then it acts like a vacuum. And that's the process of pulling it up and back out. That's the process of going back up the chakras and out. And that is where we embody it and we learn the lesson. We get the aha moments, the epiphanies. But first it's going to feel like, something's wrong. Something's changing. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to feel. What is going on? How do I do this? And then once we figure out, okay, well, I can see something is different in my body. Like my digestion isn't working so well. My appetite is changing. My left hip hurts. My right shoulder hurts. Whatever it is in the body that is not functioning the same as it was before, that is where the blockage is, right? And then we tend to it, right? We open it up. We can do it through physical exercise. We can do it through meditation. We can do it through working with different, natural medicines. We can do it through talk therapy. There's many, many different ways that we can go about it, but we have to be open and flexible in our approach, because if our mindset is too rigid, then we try to figure it out too much, and then that can actually make us miss the lesson. Okay. So then as it comes up and out, we got to feel it, right? We got to feel, oh, ow, you do a detox, you do a purge, or like, you could be doing yoga and feel something just open up or pop, or, make a shift somehow. Then you can, the awareness comes. You can all of a sudden, have, cry. All of a sudden you're crying. You don't know why. You're watching a movie or listening to a song or something that suddenly brings back like some kind of feeling that you had when you were a kid, and you don't really know why you felt it. It's just there, and you just start crying, and then you feel lighter after. Whew. Or it can come through a dream, or it can come through, like a communication with the loved one. It can come through any mean of way. And this is actually exactly what I talk about in my book. So check out my book if you want. It's definitely going to help you identify different areas that you get stuck in your body and in your mind because we do hold on to emotions in our physical body, right? So the thoughts and the feelings, the thoughts and the emotions that we have in our brain send signals to our central nervous system, right? Through the form of neuropeptides. Neuropeptides go through our central nervous system and they activate different emotional responses. That's why if you get really stressed, you secrete excess cortisol. Or if you get really nervous and excited, you get butterflies in your stomach. Or if you feel like a strong connection with someone, you get, like if you find someone really attractive, you get horny. Like all these different things are aspects of how our body responds to our brain, right? It's a subconscious mind. Oh, shit. All right, Steph. Well, it's going to be happening a lot here in the next couple weeks, okay? Eclipse season is when we go into this vortex, this energetic chamber, if you will, almost like a chrysalis within the chrysalis. And as we go into this chrysalis, we start to dismantle or like pull apart all these energies that need to come apart so that we can raise our consciousness, right? So it's coming. It's going to get stronger. It's going to get weirder. Things are going to feel so different and so strange that we may not really know how to process it. But that is where all these different energies about, okay, needing to understand how the energies come through you to process and not getting attached to it, still having that passion, desire, but letting go of the way that they go about, way that they happen. This Neptune and Mars conjunction is so critical and so important and understanding so that we can process these energies as smoothly as possible. Because let's face it, it's not going to be smooth at all. Like that's not how growth is. It's messy. Okay. Once you can accept the messiness, then that's okay. Right. And actually it's kind of funny because when you actually see the messiness in the process and you learn to be the conscious observer while you're going through it, like I demonstrated for you earlier in this transmission, right? It's all a part of the process. So the more that you can accept your vulnerability, the more that you can accept yourself for your imperfection, for who you are, the more you can step into it. Like a year ago, if like people started like asking me all these like weird questions that would pull my focus off of my topic, I would have just gotten discombobulated and shut down and probably like shut off the stream. Be like, I'm not gonna go. We can't do that. This is calling us to step into it deeper and stronger and more, and not really giving a fuck what else happens. It is what it is. Like, hey, this is me. I'm not perfect, and that's okay. Because I have to love me anyways, and you have to love yourself anyways. If you want anyone else to love you for who you are, you have to love yourself for who you are first, right? So we're all going to be getting thrown for loops. We're all going to get really confusing messages, not understanding what's going on or why. And we have to be okay with that, okay? It's going to happen. Just let it go, let it flow, right? So decrypting the language of the human body. That is the name of my ebook. It took me a little while to clear my head enough to get that out there. Okay. Understanding the correlation between emotional and physical pain. So please go ahead and go download that book for free on my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com. You will not be disappointed, and spread the word. Tell your friends. All right. And you're welcome. I'm happy that I help you guys out. I'm here to just, be real as I possibly can, and be humble and be authentic. And the way that it comes out. And if you guys resonate with it, please feel free to share these messages. Okay. Basically, the way that I come out is I'm just trying to show people, hey, look, it's okay to be imperfect. Some people, come at me, oh, well, it must be nice. You're just, you're good looking and, you just know what you're doing. You know how to make, you know what, dude, it doesn't matter how attractive you physically are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter. There's always something that you want that you can't have, right? The greatest thing that I want in my life is a healthy relationship with my daughter. And right now, for me, that is the biggest struggle of my life. And I know a lot of parents that have that going on. And that's me being real, okay? I love my daughter more than anything in this world. Put it out there. I love you, Aya, so much. You are the reason why I get up in the morning every single day. I'm here to be the best father that I can be, okay? And there's certain parts of ourselves that we have to accept that are not going to be perfect, okay? But everything happens in divine timing. The ego wants something to happen in a certain amount of time, but the spirit has other plans. You have to be ready, and sometimes you don't really know when you're ready fully or not, okay? You might think you're ready, or sometimes you might not think you're ready, and something happens. You're like, oh, shit, right? So I like, if I lost my looks, if I lost my money, honestly, I wouldn't really care. If I could just have a good, solid relationship with my baby. And it's going to happen. It is happening because I'm manifesting it, right? The most important thing in this life is the people, your loved ones. And look, we all fuck up, right? We all have bad shit that happens in relationships. That's how we learn, right? And we have to accept these lessons, though, the way that they come, okay? Because this is what builds our character. This is what makes us strong. This is what makes us vigilant. So we take one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, and we do the best we can. And you have to accept the process. Allow it to be what it is. And really have faith and trust. It's in those moments that you are at your weakest, at your most vulnerable. That is when you develop and create the power in your experience, the power in your energy, the power in your consciousness. That's when all the ego-driven desires just go away, because that shit don't matter anymore. Okay? We've all been the bad guy in someone's movie. It's when you decide to be the star in your own movie, and you be a magnet for who you want to attract. You be the example of what you want to see in the world, and that takes responsibility. It takes discipline. It takes motivation. It takes intention. It takes inspiration, right? And once we access this inspiration, and we go, and we travel, and we trust the process, we become what we envision our mind want to see in the world is that. And that is when our world collides with our vision. I don't want to say collide. Our world molds with our vision. And that's when we become whole. That's when we start walking in our authentic truth. Okay. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. This is way more of an emotional, a way more of an emotional live than I thought it was going to be. But hey, this is how it goes, right? Just let it flow. Whoo! The divine path, exactly. And we are coming in, guys. I'm telling you, when this solar eclipse hits on the 20th, if you're not connected to your heart, you might feel like you're just going down, like you're tumbling down a rabbit hole, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Why are you crying so hard? Because you're feeling it. Because I'm pouring my fucking heart out to you guys. And you guys are resonating with my heart-centered energy, and I'm really grateful for all of you. So, thank you guys for showing up with me as I'm showing up for you. I really am grateful and appreciate it. we got to stay the course, and we got to stay true, and we got to keep going one foot at a time. All right. There's so many triggers, so much purging, so much stuff going on. Connect to the people that you resonate with, that you love, that you care about. Okay. Fuck all this nitpicky, like petty bullshit. It doesn't fucking matter. There is too much negativity and too much bullshit out there to feed into the distraction. Okay. Stay the course. And if you do feel lost, or if you're looking for a beautiful community to connect to work with, to find out what your life purpose is, come check out the Opportunity Community. Okay? Get a reading from me. This is what I do. And this is it's my contribution to humanity, okay? To help people find their truth and what they're looking for. And also, it's what gives me the opportunity to make it possible to create this life, to have my daughter in it. And that is my why. What is your why? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you do what you do every day, right? So you got to ask yourself right now, that especially when it comes, because the eclipse, okay, in Cancer, and then in Capricorn, that is the last eclipse part of the Capricorn Cancer cycle. Okay, it's closing that out for good. You're starting a whole new life, guys. And this second half of the year, it's gonna get fucking gnarly, intense. So, for those of you that have actually, for those of you that have already ordered readings from me, I've gotten a lot of orders here in the last about 2 weeks, and I'm taking a little bit longer than I would like and anticipated. So please allow like about 7 days right now to get your reading from me. I really appreciate your patience, and please go to my website, download my new free ebook. And also, I have an upcoming event on June 27th. I'm going to post about it a little bit more here with my friends at Sivana. We're going to be doing a live webinar event. Go to Sivana.com and check it out. It's going to be at the 27th of June at starting at 11 a.m. And we have some amazing lineup of amazing speakers. Going to be speaking some amazing truths. You guys don't want to miss it, okay? So make sure you check that out. Dustin, man. Wow, I'm so sorry. That's a long time. Dustin saying that he hasn't seen his daughter since December 1st, 2015. God, that's so terrible. Why do parents do this shit? Why do parents play these ignorant, childish fucking games? We should put our own issues aside, right? For the children deserve to have relationships with their parents, with their family. Stop lying to your kids. Stop playing these fucking games. Grow up. Man, pisses me off. I'll be honest, it fucking pisses me off. But at the same time, I'm learning how to, be in my center, as difficult as it is, to be compassionate and loving to the situation so that I can manifest a positive outcome, right? 5 years, man. There are too many parents, especially with all the crazy shit going on with the pedophilia and the child sex trafficking. I mean, come on. Parents deserve to have a relationship with their kids, especially the ones that love them. Fuck. It's not right. And I know that's my ethical and moral, subjective perspective, but I mean, come on. It's fucked up. Be adults, be mature adults, okay? If you're a mother, you should allow the father to have a relationship with their child. And if you're a father, you should allow the mother to have a relationship with the child. It should go both ways. Don't use a child as a fucking pawn just to hurt each other. It's fucking ridiculous. At least just be neutral, right? Yeah, that's why I'm not saying that I'm fighting, because I'm doing my best to allow the process to unfold as it's supposed to, right? Okay, so it's all love, baby. It's all love. When we stay in our true, if just staying true in your own love and your own compassion for yourself, staying true to what you believe in, as long as morally and ethically sound, okay, that is the important thing. So focus on loving yourself, being yourself. Don't get lost in all this distraction and all this media and all this conspiracy theory shit. Okay. Trust your heart of what's going on in the world with everything that's going on. Okay. Everyone right now has some shit that is just chaos in their life. Okay. Let's just be real. Everyone does. And it's triggering as fuck. Okay. So let's be okay with the triggers. Let's get out in a healthy way and let's move through it, learn from it, and create a safe, vulnerable space to process the energy. Okay. And on that note, I am going to sign off. So I appreciate you guys so much for showing up, for tuning in. And if you would like a reading from me, please go to spiritualbodybelow.com. On Instagram, it's linked in the bio. And on YouTube, it is in the description box below. And again, my new ebook, Decrypting the Language of the Human Body, understanding how emotion and pain, what it means in the body. And and check out the Opportunity Community. All right. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you very much for your support. And I will talk to you guys on the next transmission. All right. Peace out, guys. Have a great night.